Whoa. Hello. Hello there.
Howdy.
I had to change my topic. Weekend gaming.
Sounds like Dallas Twitch server might be sucking. Let me see if I can help a little bit.
What, on Twitch?
Yeah.
See, that's why I've been upset with them lately.
I've already got it pretty low for the bitrate.
I've
Here,
been
we'll go a little bit lower.
Them
We'll
lately.
see what happens.
But yeah, what's up, guys? It's another week, Frag Logic. This is episode number 53. Joined by my good buddy and co-host, Colin. How are you doing, sir?
Not too bad. Probably a little bit better off than you, based on this past week of madness. The past few days of madness, at least.
We're gonna get into that. It was definitely an interesting week. For me, it was hectic, to say the least. I got probably the least amount of sleep I've gotten in a really, really long time. So, what's up to everybody in chat? Hutchie, Zombie, Janitor over there on YouTube. Everybody on YouTube, what's up? But yeah, it was pretty crazy. In terms of the, we always start off the week with weekend gaming. We're gonna talk about that. Let me see what other topics we have here. We got
just a reminder for people on Twitch that are able to view currently. If you go over to youtube.com/ArcticVBI, you can watch the stream over there as well.
Yeah.
We've got 2 different streams going. Sounds like Twitch is having some issues tonight, so if you're having trouble, I recommend going over there.
Yep, so I'll go ahead and drop that link in chat. But this is great that we get to, I mean, you guys can stay in the Twitch chat, which seems functional right now. But you can watch over there on YouTube, which is much smoother.
Much smoother.
It is much smoother. That frame rate there, dude, there's no stuttering. I love it. But yeah, anyway, so we're going to talk about weekend gaming stuff. We have the Loadout Launch, which I'm going to spend some time talking about that. Colin's going to be grilling me. We got a little bit of gaming updates with some stuff coming out. I'll wrap that into the weekend gaming stuff. EA learned from Battlefield 4. We'll kind of tie that into the Titanfall discussion. There's an article about that, and EA kind of talking about their woes with Battlefield 4 in retrospect, or in regards, I should say, to the upcoming Titanfall launch. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. Colin's going to be talking about that. And then we got some Titanfall stuff. Lots of news on Titanfall, and I imagine at this point each week we're going to get more and more Titanfall content up until that beta drops, and then everybody's going to be playing the beta and providing feedback to Respawn, hopefully.
Just a couple more weeks now, supposedly. Yeah,
supposedly. So I'll go ahead and start off with weekend gaming. I didn't do too much of anything. I did a 24-hour live stream with the studio I work for, Edge of Reality. And for those of you guys that don't know, I am the community manager over there. That was pretty much it. I mean, that was my weekend. Just playing Loadout, talking to our now enormous size community right now. I mean, we went from, to give you guys an idea, we went from like 20,000 people on the website that were signed up. In a matter of 2 days, we have 100,000 registered users on our forums. I mean, it was just incredible. And we weren't prepared for it at all. So my weekend, I was up about 40 total hours because we did the 24-hour live stream. And I slept for 45 minutes, if you want to call it that. It was like a cat nap. And then I was up another almost 24 hours trying to, you know, get things all squared away. Sunday, I just played Loadout. And that's pretty much it. It's been all Loadout. I didn't even watch the Super Bowl.
You didn't miss much.
So I've heard.
If that's any consolation. It was pretty awesome.
So I've heard.
My end, I think it was just Dota this weekend. They added a random ability draft, which so everyone in the game gets a random hero, and then all the abilities for those heroes plus a couple more are thrown into a pool, and you draft abilities. Kind of like fantasy football, where it goes. It's like a snake draft. So you draft all your abilities from the pool, and then you can use the abilities that you drafted with your character. So when we've been playing that, it's complete madness. Complete madness. It's just a matter of like who figures out what's broken in the pool during the draft time, because it goes really fast. And then you have like crazy overpowered combinations and shit. So it's pretty fun.
Stoic. I played Loadout. Fuck the Super Bowl. So yeah, so Dota for you and Loadout for me. Did you do anything like, well, obviously, did you watch most of the Super Bowl, all of the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I watched the game. They had the online web stream, which I watched. Unfortunately, and I keep trying to praise the NFL for showing game streams on online. It's actually not the NFL. I guess it'd be ABC or NBC and CBS.
Right.
Or sorry, NBC and Fox is what I meant to say. That have shown it online, but I swear, man, Super Bowl, it's 2 years in a row and I watched it online. They still haven't learned to put the same ads from the broadcast stream onto the web stream. Like, it's different.
Oh.
So that's the downside. You think that like an online stream would get the advertising part right, just because like that's their moneymaker,
right?
But no, they show like maybe like 1/5 of the commercials they show during the game, and then they show them on repeat. It's like I watched the same fucking Beats commercial like 10 times.
Well, you know what I end up doing every year since I can remember that YouTube has been doing this. I end up watching all of the commercials on YouTube, every single one.
Yeah, that's what I end up doing is I tail back and watch the rest of the commercials later. Although really the commercials this year suck too. You missed absolutely
I
nothing.
heard that they were bad.
Yeah.
That's disappointing. Like all around, just shitty Super Bowl. That sucks.
Yep.
Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch topic. Well, no, we're gonna stay in weekend gaming because I got a couple little tidbits, and then we'll get into this. So first off, did the Project Spark beta come out for Xbox One?
Um, Unofficially, I think so. I think it's like if you have access to the PC version, then you can download it on Xbox One
Okay.
or something along those lines. It might be only for the ID at Xbox people, the developer network.
Okay.
And then I think that it's supposed to be coming very, very shortly. I believe is what the last update was.
Well, I saw that they were kind of making some headway. I know their Twitter account all of a sudden got like 3 or 4,000 more followers. They're almost at like 10K, and
Yeah.
I've seen a
Someone
couple.
created the first level from Fable, you know, the island on Oakville.
Yeah.
They created that in Project Spark. So that was kind of like their big showcase that was kind of sent around a bunch of news websites this week.
Wow. I
Pretty
saw.
cool.
I think it was on the dashboard, not on Xbox One, but let's see, maybe it was on a news site or a dashboard. But I saw that they were heavily promoted, and it could have been for that. I didn't really pay attention to it. I didn't click on it. But yeah, Project Spark stuff. Alan and I all are very excited about the game coming out. I think it's going to be pretty exciting to play it.
Just wish I had more time to actually mess with it. Like that's what it
It's
comes
too
down
much,
to.
man. Too much.
Trying to play everything and also make things and play things and work on things.
Yeah,
Too much.
too much. White Xbox One. Heard some rumors about that. I mean, I already have one. Unless this one breaks, I've already gone through one because of my disk drive. Then, yeah, I don't see myself getting it. But
After saying
what
you would never buy another Xbox One if it broke.
I
So
did
you're
say
already
that.
on number 2.
I did say that. Remember?
Yep.
But yeah,
I'll remember
heard some-
too.
What?
I'll remember too.
I know.
The day it comes to buy a new,
Well,
brand new
well,
one.
here's the thing: if we're competing, you're just gonna have to let that slide. Like you can't
I'm on
even.
box like 5, yeah. I'm on,
can't even
I'm
say
on
anything.
Xbox 5, I think.
So white Xbox One looks like it's coming in. I don't know if you guys don't have one. If you're thinking about getting one, the only thing that would like kind of make me buy another Xbox is one that's like themed that I want. Like I feel like there might have a Titanfall Xbox, and I don't know if I would get one or not. Like I'm saying like down the line, not like right now. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
kind of like
It's like I consider waiting for a Titanfall Xbox, but then I would have missed the beta, right?
right.
So it was like, okay, that decision's been made. I just ponied up and bought the regular Xbox.
So yeah, I mean, there's some stuff there. And then there was a rumor that is going around that they're gonna drop the Kinect by next year. So, I mean, whatever. I don't. You know, we've already hit on the Kinect. I don't know, about 3-4 episodes.
Their interface is so bad without the Kinect, though. Like,
It
if it
is,
wasn't
it's
for
pretty bad.
being able to move around with your voice, the interface would be atrocious.
It is pretty damn bad. Other speculation I saw this weekend, well, it might have been right after the show. It might have been Wednesday, actually, that I put this in here. Red Dead Redemption and GTA 5 on next gen. So, I'm sorry, Red Dead Redemption, a sequel. So, Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA 5 on Xbox One and PS4. I think both of those are pretty huge. I would probably get Red Dead Redemption 2, considering I played it a little bit when you bought it back when we were in Indiana.
You didn't play it?
I didn't play it all, no. I
didn't know
played
you didn't
like
play through.
some of it. I played some of it. I ended up watching you play more than playing myself.
It was fun. I beat it, I believe. Yeah, I beat it.
So
Kind of stalled out for a bit, but it was a fun game. It makes sense that they would want to reuse those assets again in another game. Like, you think about GTA, like, they had to carry over at least some of the assets from title to title.
yeah,
And that's a big reason why sequels are so big, is because they cost less to make than a new game.
yep.
So it wouldn't surprise me at all. But it is
So
just a rumor for now.
I would definitely think that'd be cool. Well, both of those would be titles I probably get. I already have GTA 5 on Xbox 360. Unfortunately, I didn't start playing it until like December or something, and I'm like 10% completion, and I just don't have time to play Xbox 360 right now. It's out in the living room. It's not near my main gaming setup, and it's like I'm not going to be on my Xbox 360 that much to even waste playing it. I actually would prefer if it came out for PC, because then I could play it when I'm at work on lunch or something like that and actually progress through the game rather than, trying to play it on Xbox One, which I know I'm not going to do. So both of those are pretty exciting. I think Rockstar they've already shown that they can do whatever the fuck they want and doesn't matter. So yeah, those are some news. Now, last thing that I think is important before Colin starts grilling me and I start looking at the chat about our launch. Nintendo, which we talked about a little bit last week, is supposed to be making smartphone apps. Not games, which I believe Iwata clarified in the interview that he had talking about it. But he said that they're going to be making smartphone apps, but they're not restricting games. Right? So Nintendo is struggling.
Because if there is one thing that Nintendo does well, it's software. Like, it's definitely the interface, which has been the criticism of all of the gamers since since the GameCube.
Probably.
Like, the interface has been the main complaint. And the Wii and the Wii U, in particular, have gotten the most flack because of their poor online support. So, them making software that isn't games is pretty funny to me. Because really, they should be focusing on the software on their console they just launched that doesn't have any of the features of their competitors.
Well, here's the thing. The way they're analyzing this is that they might as well just not even invest anything into it other than the couple original IPs that they announced and just move on. Like, do it like they did the GameCube almost. Just like flush it down the toilet and move on to the next project. So I want to see them do well, but I wish they would just be smart about it. Like, Mario should be on Xbox. They should be licensing the shit out of Mario. People everywhere on every console will play Mario. Like, they could make so much money.
No one to buy a Wii U, though.
Exactly. They can make so much money. I would seriously, and I know Christy would want me to, buy Mario if it came out for Xbox One or PlayStation. Or PC. So I just wish they would make smarter decisions because I want to support Nintendo, but I'm not going to buy a damn Wii U. Like, you guys know, I don't believe in that stuff. It's gimmicky. The other bit of news that came out from that is Iwata is slicing his salary by 50% for 6 months. I don't know if that's going to matter anyway. And then all the executives...
It's a drop in the bucket.
Yeah. All the executives are across the board are dropping their total salaries by 20 to 30% while they're in this little pickle right now. So I felt it kind of necessary to kind of talk to you guys about some Nintendo stuff before we get into this. So let me go ahead and change the topic. Loadout Launch. Okay. I'm ready.
So, I really wish that I had gone back and gotten some sound clips. But you and myself have repeatedly bashed EA relentlessly for the horrendous launch that was Battlefield 4.
And Battlefield 3.
And Battlefield 3, noting that each of the titles had a beta where people got to play early and it was supposed to be a server test. I can't help but draw some parallels to having a year of early access and then releasing a game and having the servers down for a day or two. They're still somewhat fluctuating.
Still fluctuating.
Have to draw some parallels between your launch and Battlefield. And maybe a little bit, just a little bit hypocritical. You might not be able to bash EA ever again.
I've already been called out. Funny thing enough, I've already been called out on Twitter from obviously one of our viewers saying that I can no longer talk shit about EA or anyone for that matter on launch day after having a year and a half worth of beta and having a pretty much fucked up launch. So,
And in all fairness, it's completely different scenarios.
yeah, in fairness, in all fairness, it is a little bit different. But for us, and we tried to be pretty transparent about it, it's inexcusable. Like that's my personal feelings about it. You know, we put together a pretty strong marketing campaign for the game. You know, I think a lot of our community was in the dark about the things that we had going on from a marketing standpoint and the things we had planned. But the programming side, networking side, really underestimated the response that we were going to get from the campaign. You know, it was kind of like, yeah, you know, you guys are going to do this. I mean, we had Rooster Teeth make our trailer, right? One of our trailers. So, you know, that in itself was like, oh, you know, this could be potentially pretty big. You know, I personally was really surprised by the response that we've gotten so far. Because I'm of the belief, and we've talked about it numerous times on the show, that arena shooters are dead, right? Like, no one wants to play arena shooters again. And the glory days of those titles are long gone. And so for us, you know, it's one of the things that I've internally talked about with some of the members on the team. Like, I don't feel like, it's just me talking, you know, heart to heart. Like, I don't feel like our title was going to get the media buzz, the people interest in gamers that other people have kind of tried to replicate and just haven't been able to. I mean, we're just completely blown away by the response. And in terms of, you know, the time for early access, one of the biggest things that I think that, you know, we all don't give credit enough to from a developer standpoint is if you have a beta and no one knows about your beta, then you're never going to be able to stress test your beta. For us, we were in early access for a year and a half. We were initially started off giving out closed beta keys to people everywhere. So it was like Alienware had some, MMO Bomb, all these places. We probably gave out 200,000 keys. But we would get people in at, you know, at pops, like 1,000 people here, 10,000 people at one time here. You know, I should say in a week here, because we never had, our maximum concurrent was never over 1,500, all the way up and through, up until launch, like never. And then on top of that, you know, we were kind of looking at a lot of the other free-to-play titles that launched. None of them in the last, you see, there's Blacklight, Warframe, a couple others. None of them have hit the same peaks that we've hit in the last year. So it's like we were just completely floored on the reception to the game. So from a preparation standpoint, we had a number that we were kind of looking at, saying, okay, we think we're going to achieve this. And then once we hit that and it kept going up, we were like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Shit crashes, it burns. Oh shit, it's still going up. Oh shit, we can't control it. Oh shit. Oh shit. Everyone needs to stay. And that's pretty much, you know, how the launch went for us. The programming team has done a phenomenal job trying to keep up at this point. Today we had some issues where it's like every time, and we've looked at our graph right now, the Steam charts are available for anyone if you want to look, but every time we start to get to this peak, you see right where we hit the plateau and it's like, and we can't do anything about it. I mean, we're spooling up as much stuff as we can. Hardware, servers, more manpower. Like, we took some of the programmers and stuff off from our other project just to take a look and help out a little bit, you know, in their spare time while this stuff is on fire. So it's like we have people like looking over like, okay, yeah, that you could probably do some stuff there to improve it, and then they go back over and walk, you know, do work on the other projects. So it's like we've all hands on deck pretty much. and it's just really hard to prepare for that type of scale and seeing the response.
And you guys hit around 30,000 concurrents, right?
We hit our maximum concurrent that we've seen so far has been 32,243. And
Compared
I'm
to
sure we can
1,500
break
early
that.
access.
Yeah. I'm sure we can break that, but we just can't. We can't keep up on the upward spike, because every time we hit a certain level, it just is like everything fails, and then we end up going right back down. I'm trying to look at some of the stuff in the chat. Colin, you can. I'm listening if you have any more questions. How you gonna compare an indie to EA? That's what Bigness said.
It's in jest. In jest. But yeah, it's way different compared to EA, which has unlimited resources and considerably more data to go off of compared to an indie launch. That said, if any other FPS really released and had that much server issues, we'd probably say something about it on the show as well.
Yeah. And I wanted to make sure that, I talked to you guys about it to kind of give firsthand accounts of what has happened so far, but it's just been difficult to catch up and then get ahead of ourselves. Right now, we're still playing catch up, and we've made things a lot better each time we hit a new high peak. But at some point, hardware just we need to get better hardware, and that's what we've done over the last couple days. Obviously, a Sunday trying to get new servers and transition stuff when people aren't typically working at all on Super Bowl Sunday is pretty difficult.
Right.
But it's been pretty crazy. A lot of lessons learned. Obviously, I'm going to cut some people some slack a little bit. We were talking about Maxis and SimCity having to cut back on some of their features on launch because they just weren't ready for the slaughtering that they kind of got, and we have to do the same thing. We've talked about it already. We have to disable a couple features in a new build in order to make it so that people can just get in matches. We had things like party systems breaking because the friends list was breaking because we had so many people in the game that the friends list information was being overloaded. So once it hits a certain peak for us, and I want to say it's like 25,000 people, that thing starts getting really flaky. And obviously we've been getting a ton of flack for stuff, and I've pretty much been the meat shield for that. Like everyone, it's just boom, 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 and I've just been trying to answer questions as upfront and honest as I can about it. But it's crazy, dude, just insane. Half of ERR play fighters. Yes, that is true. Other project. Yes, other project. Loadout 2 in the making. Possibly. We had Bigness. He was in the 24-hour chat the entire time. Incredible.
I saw Dom was a little bit tipsy.
Dom got a little tipsy, and so did he was on with Jonathan Hunter, and he got a little tipsy as well. I'm trying to look at some of the questions here on YouTube. I just hope it gets a lot of support past this point to make sure the community expands like Gears. Wasn't that bad. It says a lot. So many people wanted, yeah. They're very, very active. See, I'm trying to find questions. What is it like? What is like if there's any ranking system in Loadout? So the ranking system that we have is skill-based matchmaking right now. We're still working on some features for the rank system, by itself. Whether it be leaderboards or ladder system with ranked teams. We're still trying to figure out what it's going to be. And technically, this is one of the things I've kind of mentioned a couple times on the Steam forums. This was initially going to be coined our open beta release. It wasn't going to be launch, but because of the trend with open beta, what ends up happening is game journalists will review your product. once it goes into open beta. So we just said, screw it. We're going to call this our official launch, and we'll drop the open beta tag. But this is technically our open beta period. And some of this stuff we kind of expected, kind of. But like I said, the response so far has been pretty overwhelming. And we're still developing and coming up with new features and whatnot.
Have you guys had reviews and stuff? I haven't seen any from like the major sites.
No, we haven't had any from like Polygon or IGN or GameSpot or like Joystick. None of the major Destructoid, none of those. Funny enough, you know, we haven't had anyone from any like Polygon. They have not talked about our game, not once, not in early access, not during any of the events. I know, I think we had one or two of their editors around. Kotaku's been the same way, but I actually saw a tweet from one of the editors at Polygon, and he was talking about how our launch has been pretty messed up, and they haven't talked to us at all. So I thought that was pretty surprising, that it picked up and now it's on their radar, considering they hadn't given us a thought beforehand. So
Right.
it was pretty interesting to see that.
I assume at this point you're almost hoping that they will hold off on any reviews.
Yeah, like, you know, we're hoping most reviewers kind of do that, like the big ones. Some of them don't. Smaller ones don't. Obviously, user reviews don't. And so user reviews right now are just thrashing us, right? You know, on Steam and on Metacritic, just destroying us, because they can't get into matches and matchmakers all messed up and all that stuff. But it seems like once people get into the game, they're having a pretty good damn time. So we're just trying to get people into the game so they can have a good time. Why is it that you guys didn't use the Steam social integration? That is from Dominique Romeo. So the reason that we didn't do that is because we don't want to rely heavily on Steam. You know, I think Rob can probably talk a little bit more to it, but from my understanding and some of the meetings that we had about it, we didn't want to rely solely on Steam integration for friends and all that stuff, because if we had a separate installer, it would require double the work to make friend stuff work if you're not in the Steam environment. And this is just like future-proof planning on our part if it gets to the point where we can do that. When is Amazing recruiting for a Loadout clan? We don't even have competitive features in right now. Like, it's not to that point. We have to see. When I played the other day, I had 0 issues. You missed the alpha maps. So alpha maps, we may bring them back in, but it'll probably be through an opt-in type experience. We're still determining what we're going to do to get those in so that more people have more content. That's been a big thing for us, is like, oh man, Colin, it's crazy reading all of this feedback. Like, I shit you not, on Sunday at 8 o'clock in the morning, we were at 32,000, whatever I just told you. 243 is our peak at 8 o'clock. And then we hit that cap, and then everything crashed and burned. And from 8 o'clock until almost 12 a.m., I was on the Steam forums just answering questions. I could not, and I was watching Kylan too, so I couldn't really move around. I couldn't go watch the Loadout forums. I was kind of looking at Twitter. I couldn't look at Facebook. I was just on the Steam forums by myself, pretty much. And I think Rob was also there. Rob is our CEO, by the way. Crazy CEO. In the terms of his interaction with community. Just insane. The stuff, like his commitment to, you know, messaging to you guys is I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. But he was on there helping me a little bit. But I got 5 pages into the Steam forums in like 6 hours. And there was 147 pages. So I was like, I don't even know how to handle this right now. So we actually got another community person that I plucked from QA. His name is Marcos. So he's kind of like a junior community manager right now. And he's helping me out on the Loadout forums And basically, we have QA helping out in the Steam section because I kind of sectioned some stuff off for bugs and whatnot. And then we have customer service now helping out on Twitter and Facebook. So it's nothing
All
like
hands
it.
on deck.
It's crazy launching a game. Crazy launching a game, especially indie studio doing it. Zero help, no infinite resources like EA or any publisher, Activision or whoever. So it's been interesting. Will there be a free-for-all mode? Possibly. There won't be a deathmatch, team deathmatch, but there could potentially be a free-for-all mode. Our design team has been pretty adamant about team-based objective gameplay. And I understand some people want a deathmatch, but typically speaking, and Colin, I know you can attest to this, with Gears of War 3, TDM kills shit. It just kills shit. So I don't know if we're going to go that route or not.
I don't think it's a matter of people enjoying TDM more. It's just like they don't give anything else a shot.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like, I'm just going to play TDM. So I don't think we're going to go that route, and I'm going to actually fight against it pretty hard. So if that's it, we're going to go ahead and move on.
What do we have next?
JPB, thanks, dude.
Do you want to talk about EA learning from Battlefield 4?
Well, I'm going to tie that in from with Titanfall, but we can reel off of that considering it's in the same vein as what we just talked about.
Yeah, or I can talk about Plants vs. Zombies. It's up to you.
Let's go Plants vs. Zombies.
Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Bum, bum, bum.
What is it? Garden Warfare?
Yeah.
Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare.
So, this is a game which has kind of like been on my radar a little bit. And it's weird because I know some of you guys are like, Plants vs. Zombies? That's on your radar? Why? And if you saw, they showed us some of the gameplay at E3, I believe it was. They just did like a real snippet like, hey, we're making a third-person Plants vs. Zombies game. And they just kind of left it at that, showed some gameplay. But the gameplay actually looks really good. It looks kind of like a cross between, I say like Monday Night Combat and Team Fortress would probably be the best two comparisons.
Yep.
Maybe a little bit of Gotham City Imposters in there. Here, I'll pull up some gameplay.
And if you want to see gameplay and you're on YouTube, you have to look over there on Twitch. I didn't have time to pull it up for you guys. I also enjoy Kill Confirmed over to after this experience. If Titanfall is not smooth, will you still give them we're gonna give them a little bit of shit, but no, not as much. The reason I would for them is because we don't like betas that aren't betas. So, a couple weeks before the game comes out, it's not really a beta, but I'm sure they're gonna be able to stress test the shit out of it, considering Vince didn't say that there's no pre-orders, but we're gonna talk about that here in a bit.
So yeah, I got some gameplay up now. This is Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. Has co-op. Like the main mode is co-op, and it's 4-player co-op. You're obviously Plants vs. Zombies as usual. But then they also include a 12v12 multiplayer game, multiplayer with 2 game modes. One of which is Team Deathmatch, and the other one I'm not sure of. 12v12 is a lot of players, right? I was actually kind of surprised that they made this 12v12 because we kind of talked about Titanfall as an example of a game which can do fine without it. Yeah. I think this game could have definitely done fine without being 12v12. Like 4v4 or 5v5 would have worked, I believe. So anyways, it's 12v12. There's 4 classes of plants, 4 classes of zombies, and then there's multiple variants. So, for example, there's the pea shooter, which is like your assault class. And then there's also an Agent P, and then he'd be like a stealth class for that character. So there'd be 4 classes each, plus variants. Um, all of them have active abilities, which go on cooldown. Like right now, he's using the jackhammer to get around the map. And it just looks fucking insane. Like the fact that this is a Plants vs. Zombies game is ridiculous. That this is something that they actually decided to go with because it looks nothing like the rest. But the reason that it came up recently is that it ships on February 18th,
18th.
which is right in the sweet spot where I can spend a couple weeks playing it because it's going to be probably post Titanfall beta and pre Titanfall. So it's going to fall right that nice little sweet spot in between where we can play something different and kind of try something new because it looks completely different from the other stuff.
I could listen. I'm just gonna put this out there. If we play this game, we're probably going to be playing against women, like grandmas, moms, and little kids. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, a little bit. But then there's also going to be people who actually play. I mean, the quote which came from their producer, Brian Lindley, in the article I read, he says, "It's not my first shooter. It's meant to be a experience that can be enjoyed by everyone, including hardcore FPS fans." So, that's not their target audience, but I do know that, yeah, they're getting people who play Plants vs. Zombies games. But those people aren't going to hop in multiplayer, I don't think. They'll be in co-op.
I feel like this is going to get the Facebook audience. Like, I feel like that's who it's going
Think
after.
so? I mean, how much the reason that this game is weird is, how much overlap does this game have with their core fan base?
None.
None at all.
But
It's who ends up playing a game like this? Does a person who likes the genre end up playing it, or does someone who's a fan of the series play it, or does no one play it and they just sell nothing?
Yeah, that Dark Shadow called it out. Zip them up, Grandma. Zip them up.
Look at my bank account.
Look at my bank account, Grandma.
You're watching me. I mean, you guys can see the gameplay right now. It looks fucking good. Looks really good. The one caveat, though, and this is again where it's kind of like, who was this game made for? The price point. The price point. Do you know the price point, Caleb? I can't remember if I mentioned it.
$40?
Okay. So yeah, $40 for Xbox One, $30 on 360, which is weird. That they'd have 2 different price points for the different consoles. Then PC is $35. So it is kind of rough because it's like, I'm going to spend $40 to play this. I'm only going to play it for a couple weeks, realistically. But I'm still hyped enough that I'm going to pick it up, you know?
I'm streaming it.
Streaming it? Yeah. Hell yeah. We can probably be the top stream.
Yeah, we're going to be the top Plants vs. Zombie streams, talking shit to
And the top
grandmas.
clan. And the top clan. I'm throwing down.
Put down the sticks, Grandma. You ain't got shit.
Clan.
You ain't got
Plants
shit,
vs.
Grandma.
Clan.
Put down the sticks. Zip them up. Zip
We just
them
need to
up.
recruit so we can field 12 players.
Woo! Zip them up, Grandma. You washed up. Wait, what was he saying to Hastro? You old man, old woman, zip them up.
$35 a PC, Tiger Blue. So yeah, I mean, it looks cool. I'm definitely gonna pick it up. I'm picking it up for the Xbox One. It's a good game if you haven't played much Xbox One to get those stick skills up before Titanfall comes out. Practice that movement because it does have more vertical gameplay than most of the stuff that's out right now.
Yeah, I haven't played I haven't even played any Street Fighter. I'm thinking about Street Fighter. I haven't played any Killer Instinct in a little while because we're getting ready for Loadout Launch, and like the last 2 weeks, I haven't been able to play it at all. Phobos, he's in here. Phobos, you getting Plants vs. Zombies? Did you talk him into it, Colin?
We're all over it. No, Danny talked me into it. He's the one who mentioned.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This is a Danny game which has been Colin approved.
Okay, so
which puts it in such company as Monday Night Combat.
Is Sean playing it?
Gotham City. Hell yeah, we're all playing it.
All right, so it looks like we got our squad then.
No, because it's 12v12 and the maps are gigantic.
Yeah, well, it looks like we're going to be playing that. Shit.
But we're definitely be rolling over every single pub. We're going 100-0. 100-0 is the goal.
I'm turned. That's going to be my whole entire stream while I'm playing that game. Like, I'm just going to make fun of them the entire time.
We need to put a montage together. Plants vs Zombies montage.
The funny thing is, I think you're actually serious too.
I'm pretty serious.
Yeah, I know.
We switch back cameras. I am dead serious. We should put together a Plants vs Zombies montage.
Oh man. All right, so
Gotta get hype. Get hype.
let's go ahead and round out with the way I'm going to word this is Titanfall targeting. Can I fit it? Call of Duty? Yeah. Alright, so first, before I start this, it came out like last week, almost immediately after the show, that EA promised, or making promises, basically, that Titanfall will not have the same fate as Battlefield on launch day. Ironically enough, since we just launched, I am going to ease up on them a little bit.
I will be cutthroat.
Colin can be cutthroat. He can. But me, I'm just gonna. You guys are gonna see me over here. I'm just gonna be like this, just like
until our
looking off
Age of
while
Booty
he's
game
talking,
has
just like.
issues. I get to be cutthroat.
So there's an article, I posted it on the Twitch chat. That's from Examiner. There's, I think it popped up a couple other places where basically Battlefield assured to investors on their earnings calls or whatever that Titanfall will not share the same fate as Battlefield. Unfortunately, Titanfall's beta is roughly the same time period that Battlefield's beta was. So any problems that Titanfall may encounter, I'm hoping doesn't have the same type of turnaround rate that DICE has had with Battlefield 4, and Battlefield 3. Respawn is pretty damn good about keeping their games well polished on release. They have some history there versus DICE. I'd say DICE has been pretty shaky by comparison. So I'm pretty confident that it's going to be a pretty good launch, but
I'd say Battlefield is a more complex game all around.
Yeah.
Like the engine stuff that Battlefield has pulled off is fucking ridiculous.
Okay, with like physics and stuff like that, yeah.
I mean, yeah, like it's a living engine where like Titanfall feels more like a game.
It feels
it's
like
more gamey.
You're gonna shoot a crate and the crate's just gonna sit there and it's not gonna blow up. Stuff like that. Yeah.
Walls aren't going to crumble.
Yeah.
There's not 500 guns and attachments and shit. Well, as far as I know.
So
it doesn't seem like the kind of game to have that many guns.
I just don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm very
hopefully
much
the
so
demo.
hoping.
Since we need to say demo, since we had agreed to that.
Yeah, it's a demo, but
hopefully the demo goes smooth and it's an indicator that the launch will be good.
Yeah. So they've done this before. I think the last one that they did was Call of Duty 4. I remember there was a beta. I actually have beta footage from Modern Warfare on my YouTube channel from like 2000, whenever that was, 2007. I think I still do. Or I might have took it down because it had music on it or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, so I remember them having a beta for that. It was like they had a... what is the name? Crash as one of the maps, and there was another one. But I just remember playing Crash.
It was Overgrowth.
Was it Overgrowth?
I think it was Overgrowth. I think it was actually 3 maps. It was Crash, Overgrowth, and one more.
All I know is Crash. Once I played that during that beta, it was the best map I'd ever played on Call of Duty. One of the best I've ever played on Call of Duty. Like, it hooked me instantly. So I'm looking forward to it, regardless. Other Titanfall stuff. So here's where we think that they're targeting, and it's not really Respawn. I think Respawn
is EA targeting Activision and taking both the games out.
Yeah, and that's kind of how we both kind of taken it away from, based on, was it Battlefield 4's event, private event with YouTubers and media. Respawn had a private event where they invited Call of Duty players, again, just like Battlefield, and media.
Vacant was also... That's right. Sorry.
What's that?
Vacant was the other map.
Vacant. Yeah, that's right.
That was good,
the
too.
other good part of this is that apparently there's an embargo that'll be lifted on the 12th. Is that correct?
It sounds like it's the 12th
All
is
right,
when the embargo will be up and they can post up gameplay and stuff.
from that event.
Yeah,
So if the embargo is on the 12th, I'm guessing that the beta is right after that. Which
maybe.
is
Vince said on Twitter today or yesterday that they're waiting on cert.
right. I saw that. His
So
exact quote
it's
was, "Need to put a build through certification and pass before we officially announce a date for beta." And the reason why the private event I think is particularly interesting, my good buddy, Colin's good buddy, Hastro, was at this event. I saw you actually tweeting him about it.
yeah.
And
So was Goldie.
was he? Gold Glove was
Yep.
there?
Yeah, I told you they
Wow.
got the COD guys.
Well,
You could
yeah, I
call
guess
him
he
a Gears
started off
guy, but
as
he's a
COD,
COD
but
guy.
he started off as COD, but he's also a Gears guy, which is what most people would.
A lot of his follower base is COD base.
Yeah, so that's good to hear. I mean, we've obviously been really hype about the game. I talked to Hastro at PAX Prime when they had the game demoed there, and him and I were kind of, had some conversations about Titanfall, and he seems really excited. I think the thing that's kind of holding them back, especially the esports community, is that they're heavily invested right now in Call of Duty. It would be almost a very unwise decision for a lot of those teams to pull out of Call of Duty when Activision has thrown so much money behind COD championships and different events that have popped up around the world pretty much for the game. So I think it's probably safe to say that we won't see anyone from the Call of Duty top teams. I'm saying like top 4, maybe top 5, moving on to another game.
The timing is interesting though, because the COD championships are in March, I believe, right?
Right.
So it'd be right around release. So like that's
They
their
can't
year
even
event.
play, really.
Yeah, they can't play right away, but once that's done, like it'll be right around the time when competition starts to pick up for Titanfall, as things settle after launch. Just saying, like after that event, if you finished like 8th or ninth and you didn't really make that much, and then you have this new show on the block, you might consider.
So, I mean, I'm kind of wondering, and we've talked about this before, I'm really interested to see, and I can't wait to talk to Stro about what he saw Call of Duty players doing when they played. I'm really interested to
You already
know that.
know. You already know.
I just really, I don't feel like a lot of them took advantage of vertical gameplay. And I would really be interested in seeing how they played. At least, I don't know how long they got to play. I imagine it was in short spurts. And for the learning curve for that, I imagine it's probably a couple days or whatever before they say, oh, okay, this is what I need to do. Most of those competitive guys figure out shit really quick. But I think it's interesting to kind of think that they would be targeting the Call of Duty crowd when I don't think, at least, that the Call of Duty crowd is the one that's going to be the most invested in the game.
Yeah. We'll see. I think it's gonna be pretty universal, personally.
That everyone is going to be playing.
Yeah, it's a pull from all the different communities that
Yeah.
have played consoles over the past ages. Like, I think you'll see a lot of the Halo guys have been kind of not doing much recently, trying it out. Probably go hard for a few months, and then what'll be telling is who sticks around after 5 or 6 months. Especially as the new stuff comes out, like
Yeah.
Destiny and such.
Yeah. Let me see. What else do I have on this? They released, and we know they're getting ramped up and ready to start promoting stuff. They also released lore with the Frontier Militia, and I'm gonna go ahead and.
Are you gonna read us the lore?
I'm not gonna read the lore. I do have it pulled up. I'll read this little portion of it, but I'm gonna type it in the chat, or put the link in the chat. And it's funny how, you know what's funny? How much we link to Polygon, and they can't even say shit for us the entire time. That's pretty fucked
Frag
up.
Logic?
No, not about us. Talking about Edge. Pretty messed up. Anyway, the militia is the Frontier's military branch, a mishmash of homesteaders, bandits, mercenaries, and pirates. These citizen mercenaries are the front line in the struggle against industrial conglomerate, interstellar manufacturing corporations' exploitation of human colonies' resources. The militia is divided into separate brigades assigned to different frontier territories scattered through the stars. According to the post on the Titanfall website, the militia poses a real obstacle to the IMC threat. So, that is a little blurb from that article.
Does anyone really care? I mean, it's like reading me the Unreal Tournament lore.
You don't like the Unreal Tournament lore? Wait. Colin, you can't be saying stuff to me like that. Like, why couldn't you say, like, something else?
I'm just saying, like...
Why couldn't you say, like, Quake? Quake doesn't matter. Any lore.
Yeah, it's the same thing about Quake. Like, it's the same thing. Why do you
use Unreal?
And Quake does have some lore, thanks to Quake 1 and Quake 4, which had campaigns.
That was a diss on one of my favorite games.
Even Quake 4 had a campaign. Does anyone really care about the Leandri conflict? Like, does anyone really care?
Yeah. I do.
Really?
I do.
That's messed up. And your place and all that? I mean, you're fighting people that are identical to you in Unreal. Like, there's no difference. There's no difference at all. At least in Quake, you're fighting the Strogg.
You're just Quake biased because you like Quake more than you like Unreal.
I do. But still, like, Unreal lore, it's really bad.
No. Quake lore is bad.
Quake lore is pretty bad. It essentially boils down to, you're in a tournament.
Thank you, Phobos.
He says it's hilariously bad. How do you say thank you, Phobos?
Story says he cares too.
It's hilariously bad.
You're stabbing people. Destroyer of fun. That is you. Breaking hopes and dreams.
Hold on, let me... hold on, I just searched for Unreal Tournament plot and it says not found. 1 second. In 2291, a consensual murder is legalized, opening the way for a previously underground event. Smaller mining companies have begun running smaller matches to channel aggression, but now the Leandri Mining Corporation established a professional league, which quickly proves to be an extremely lucrative form of public entertainment. Leandri entered into the tournament and is officially, as it is officially called, sponsoring their own team, the Corrupt.
The Corrupt.
The Corrupt's leader, Zan Kigor, quickly achieved champion status and held it for 2 years. In 2293, a human named Malcolm dethroned him and became champion himself.
Malcolm is the shit.
Now it is 2302. The tournament is undergoing a massive overhaul. The aging sniper rifle, a relic of centuries past, is removed from tournament, as is Assault. This is the plot. Many fans of the tournament complain of these changes.
Colin, why are you dissing right now? Why are you hating?
They even looped in the weapon and balance and mode changes into the plot line.
Colin, why are you hating right now? I need to get a... you know what? We need to get partnered so I can get some emocons. And whenever you start hating, we just have the chat talk about how you're hating right now. With the Colin face. He's hating.
It's so bad.
There we go. So wait, that is beautiful. Touchy, the crowd cheers.
Nominated for an Oscar and an Emmy.
Thank you. Exactly.
So bad. I'm not saying the game is bad.
What did I miss? I don't like
awesome.
the title.
I love
Unreal. Probably have to rewatch it, sir, since we're... But today we're going to be pretty short and brief with the show.
There hasn't been a lot to talk about this week, really.
Yeah, not a lot to talk about, but you know, we're rounding out on Titanfall stuff here. The last couple things I have are that Respawn revealed their minimum PC specs. Pretty low-end stuff. They have 60 64-bit Windows. Oh, hold on. What am I reading this for? Let me just link it in chat. I guess I should read it for the YouTube guys. But 64-bit Windows 7, 8, or 8.1. CPU is AMD Athlon X2, 2.8 gigs. Intel Core 2 Duo, 2.4 gigs. 4 gigs of RAM. The video is 512 megabits VRAM. Radeon HD 4770 or a GeForce 880 GT. Those are pretty min specs. Probably run like garbage, but that's what it is. Have we all decided? Is Phobos getting it on? No, Phobos getting it on Xbox. So is it just me, you, and that are getting it on Xbox or PC?
In addition to Xbox One?
Yeah.
Yes, I believe so.
So
I think James Cloud is getting it on PC because he has that on Xbox.
So obviously for lunchtime, you and I have to play. I imagine I'll get a couple guys like Walter to play, and maybe John Wofford, and maybe Rich.
I've got a bunch of my studio hype for the game.
So
obviously, we've only really worked on FPS games. So like most of the audience, most of the people at our studio are big shooter fans.
What true gamers running Windows 8?
I'm running Windows 8 right now.
Yeah, he is. But you did that
of,
so you could play
Project Spark.
Yeah, Project Spark.
True gamers upgrade when it's necessary.
There's a Windows 8 rig that I have at the studio for Project Spark, but I actually haven't used my beta code yet.
You can run all the same games on Windows 8 you run on 7. And it's actually probably better for performance because you don't have to disable Windows Arrow. Which
it was at least for Battlefield. Remember all those?
8 was better than 7 for Battlefield?
Well, for Battlefield 4, yeah. It was a...
I didn't know that.
At least for the beta, if you ran on Windows 8, the performance was way better than Windows 7.
Huh.
I actually think Jack Frags posted that, and that's where I first heard about it. Let me see here. So CEO, Microsoft Vice President pretty much confirmed Halo to his tweet earlier. We can go right into questions. I don't think I have any more Titanfall stuff in here other than, again, reiterating. Oh, there was some more stuff. The Titanfall, they announced Titanfall DLC pretty much right after launch, and then 3 months.
Did they?
Yeah, I didn't grab the link,
See that.
but it was in the Blue Point Studios.
Yeah.
Who's in Texas, based in Texas, making the Xbox 360 version. So it was in all of that. In that article, we talked about Blue Point last week, but I didn't.
It said there won't be
DLC.
day one DLC.
Yeah, the DLCs are going to be right after launch, and then they're already planning the DLC immediately after that DLC, which I think is like 3 months out. So basically, it sounds like they're going to have a season pass type deal.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
So be ready to fork over them hard-earned bucks. Be ready. And that, pretty much the show this week.
Let's see.
I saw a lot of questions about Loadout, so let's go ahead and just go in Q&A. If you have any Titanfall or Plants vs. Zombies or any questions in general today, let us know. I'm looking at both YouTube and our Twitch chat. Can you move to Cornwall, UK near my house? Is that for our servers? Sorry. Nope.
What do you think about Ubisoft abandoning the Watchdog trademark? They claim that that was fraudulent and that someone said that someone basically faked the signature of their CEO, was what they said. And they're currently disputing it. So nothing to look at, nothing to be concerned about.
Excuse me. Thoughts on possible Halo 2 remake?
Yeah, what do you think about that?
I wouldn't actually play it.
No?
No, I spent a lot of time playing Halo 2. I wouldn't play a remake. I spent a lot of time playing Halo 2. It's just one
Yeah,
of
I
those
played quite a
games
bit
where
too.
just like Halo, like if you made a remake for it, it'd be cool, but I wouldn't go back and play it. It'd be like the HD version. Final Fantasy X, the HD version. Which, by the way, I played Final Fantasy X. Fucking awesome game.
I'd actually would like to play that again. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Got nothing. Janitor. Let me look here. Is Skyless playing? This is from Dominique Romeo. This is earlier. Is Skyless playing Loadout, and how has his experience been with the game?
Haven't played yet because of servers. I just am avoiding it. I'll probably hop on at some point.
No one knows.
I actually worked on the game
Yeah, I was gonna
really
say.
early in its inception. I was
Colin
there for
and I
like
were
one of
like-
the first builds, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, Colin and I were like two of the first people to play the game before it was a game. Like it was 4 points, alpha version. Weapon crafting was like debug menu, putting things together.
It was
And they
basically
had-
just like attachments, yeah.
Yeah, they had like spears and stuff. I think it was liquid metal. What it is now? Javelins. Will there be a weapon type only match just like Nash or only Death Snatch? So yeah, we have some plans to do some event only stuff. We have to get the feature set ready for that, but I have been told that it is possible, and I do plan on scheduling and running events that are, let's say, jackhammer. Everybody gets a jackhammer, so it's like whack-a-mole. Events where you have to only use a scuttle, and you know, I'm trying to think about what to reward players for participating in it. So like you complete 10 matches for this game mode for the weekend or whatever, and you get a new badge or a new avatar or some bloots or some space bucks or whatever. We're figuring that stuff out as it comes up, but I have to put the design document together for events, so it's on my plate.
What do you think about the crazy character customization options in PvZ? I don't know. It seems cool. Like that's the kind of stuff I might complain about in a game I was going to play a ton seriously. But for a game like that, where it's just gonna be like a fling, I think it's pretty cool.
By the way, guys, I don't know how many of you guys actually know this about me. I told you guys that I didn't play very many fighters. I mentioned one of the fighters that my brother and I used to play was Dragon Ball Z, like Budokai series. They actually came out, I think, last week with a co-op of that game. I actually might go pick it up. I'm not shitting you. Because I love that game so much. I don't know if Christy would play. I think she would just look at me and be like, are you serious? Are you fucking 5 years old? Like, oh, I like Dragon Ball Z. So, I don't know if you guys saw that last week. I saw it on GameSpot releases, new releases. We were on there, and I saw Dragon Ball. It was like a co-op game, and I was like, what? When was that a thing? That'd be the shit.
Sure.
Hater.
Metal Gear Solid Ground Zero is only 2 hours long before it costs $40. I've never played a Metal Gear game. I played a little bit of 4 and got lost like immediately and gave up.
What?
Plot wise, the plot is ridiculous.
Do you think, this is from Envy, do you think they will make a Gal 4 or Gears Judgment? And we talked about that a lot last week. Do you think this is their last chance to keep it alive? Well, it's definitely not their last chance. I can guarantee that there will be some number of sales because I think that this marketing campaign will be significantly bigger than Gears Judgments. one of the things that we talked about on Active Reload was the lack of a marketing campaign that we saw for Gears of War Judgment when it was coming out. So I think that it would be pretty interesting to see them not do the same type of, or I'm sorry, not do what they did for Gears of War 3 for a new Gears title versus Gears Judgment. So it'll actually be Gears of War 4. Typo, I would prefer not. Has there been any news on a headset with voice chat for the X1 before TF launch? No, but there was something. Oh! You guys know what? Razer announced that they're making Xbox One controllers, peripherals, and something else.
There's a sneak peek. I think they just posted it. Just posted it. Hot off the presses.
Hot off the presses?
Yeah.
I have so far had no input on anything to do with Razer, so
I put up a picture in chat. It looks like an Xbox One Sabertooth.
So I imagine if they are happy with the Sabertooth controller, they're gonna basically modify that a little bit and make that the Xbox One controller. They don't really need my input anymore, I don't think. As long as they don't make those fucking thumbsticks for babies, then I think we're good.
And those fucking triggers. The pointy ass triggers.
Will there be new permanent modes for Loadout and not just events? Antonio, it depends on the growth of the community. One of the things that I've seen a lot of games do is they'll take a small population and then they'll make all of these game modes and then they'll segment the population. So, at certain times during the day, no one in this playlist can play at all. Or they play the same people, and we don't want to have that happen. The Battle of Z is poo. It's just a step back. Aww. Oh, let me look at that picture. I didn't. Oh yeah, that looks like the Sabertooth.
Is that the Sabertooth though?
That it's
straight up
pretty damn close. Where's my Sabertooth at? I have one that I haven't opened.
If it's just the Sabertooth, then like the way they worded the tweet was, "We're bringing our peripherals to the Xbox One," which would kind of imply they're just porting it, right?
So yeah, my daughter basically chewed off the rubber on. Luckily, I have a bunch of them. I don't want to show this one because then you guys would think it was all jacked up. But yeah, so this is the Sabertooth. You guys see that?
Yeah, maybe it is just the straight up Sabertooth in the picture. But
if it sounds like Sabertooth, then hey, that means you guys will be buying more Sabertooth.
With your face on the box.
With my face. Say hello to Arctic on the Xbox One. How long does it take for a health pack and loadout to respawn? 82 seconds.
82?
82. I don't...
How did you guys end up on 82?
I don't know. I thought it was 90, but we tested it and it's 82 seconds.
Why did you change it to 90?
I don't know. It's 82 seconds, guys.
What the hell does that? I've heard like 35 for Armor and Quake, for like 55.
It's I think it's partially because we have healing. So it puts a bigger emphasis on having a healer on your team.
Doesn't matter. Then you make it 90 seconds.
I don't know. It's 82, dude. It is big. It's really that long. Snacks actually asked like last week, and I was like, I think it's between 80 and 90 seconds. And then he was like, what? No way. Then he hopped in the game and tested, and he was like, oh shit, it's 82 seconds.
I would investigate that for a bug.
That is not a bug. I promise you.
Seems like they probably said it for something else and something's going wrong.
No. Listen, we tested it at, I think it used to be a minute. It was 60 seconds.
But
And that felt too fast.
what designer manually entered the number 82?
I don't know. I think it was Tom Bonner, actually. I'll
Who
ask
does
him.
that? Leave it 82. That's a good round number.
The counter system almost completely gone. Oh, man. That sucks, dude. And I loved Budokai. It was so fun. Character would pick Vegeta. I would pick a bunch of people, mostly Goku.
It's not a bug, it's a feature.
Yeah, Big. You're sitting there talking about health packs and you run around with healing. Like you actually know what it's like to grab a health pack. Get out of here. Add some decibels in it. 82.37. The health pack conspiracy.
I'm just saying, I guarantee you that whatever that's set for, the C-bar number is
I'll
not
ask Tom.
90.
I'll ask him tomorrow.
I just found a bug for you guys. Hopefully that's all right.
In
Fuck
the
these
chat, what
earbuds.
console, if any, do you guys have, or are you PC
Don't buy
gamers?
these. Don't buy these.
What is that? Oh, the headset.
Earbud box, man. Just falling out of my ears all day.
Wait, can you show that product up one more time? This is your official review.
Don't buy these.
Wicked Audio
Yeah, it's bad. These are the Mojos.
by Mojo.
No, Wicked Audio is the brand. Mojo is the type, I think. $20. Not worth it. They fall out of your ears unless you have fucking Dumbo ears. So yeah, I guess that covers the hardware part of our show, just like that. We don't really get to the hardware much, but it is up in the banner, so I figure we just go ahead and
We
knock it out
occasionally
real quick.
touch on hardware. I think the next big thing we're probably going to talk about is the Kraken.
Yeah, the Kraken.
And then we'll probably talk about...
With no bias whatsoever.
With no bias whatsoever!
No bias whatsoever when talking about the Razer Kraken. You're pointing the other way. It's all good.
The other thing is the Steam controller. Have you had a chance to play with one yet?
No, not yet.
God damn, dude. All right. Can't talk about it then until you get to play with one. All right, well, that pretty much looks like we got through this round of questions. What's up, Cody? We're about to actually head out for the evening. I want to play some Loadout with all the new folks, and actually I need to look at the forums and make sure shit's not on fire right now.
Step away for 1 minute. It's probably actually on fire.
Yeah.
A full hour and 15 minutes.
I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's show. We'll be back same time next week. You guys remember what I said last week. If you enjoy our show, you want to see more, but you always forget, just go to your phone. Hold on, let me show you. I got it on mine, Android. I'm gonna unlock it. Okay. I'm gonna go into my calendar. Boom, my calendar app. And then every Tuesday, I'm just gonna click on Tuesday. And then I'm just add an event. And then just like that. Look at that, guys. Look at that. You see? Just go in there, add an event. If you're on Android, same thing with Apple. Be like, man, Frag Logic is at 9 p.m. Eastern every week. I won't forget. And then you hear it buzzing and you're like, oh shit. Frag Logic's about to come on. You're going to get it like 10 minutes before. And then you're going to hit decline like, okay, Frag Logic. Then you're going to go back to playing your game. And then you're going to forget. I know that's what's going to happen. But no, seriously, guys, if you enjoyed the show,
you'll get a Pavlovian response to any time your phone starts going off. It's like, yes, it's Fred. Oh, it's not.
But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the show, please make sure to follow us. We will be streaming a lot here in the next couple weeks. I guess we're going to be playing some Plants vs. Zombies. I'm going to be streaming Loadout on my channel a whole hell of a lot. I'm getting a lot of stuff prepared for the community streamers, and get ready. And if you're over there on YouTube, give the video a like. Like, let's not let the trolls downvote us like they did 2 weeks ago. If you're watching on YouTube, the video's crystal clear. You hear me. There's no audio delay bugs like last year. There's no videos cutting in and out. The stream is consistent. We talking about shit you want to hear. Give it a like. You know what I'm saying? All right. I'll catch you guys later.
Thanks for watching, guys.